the Rambler Network.
Welcome back to Casablanca. This episode, I'm covering The Holdovers, which is a 2023 Christmas drama directed by Alexander Payne, written by David Hemingson, and starring Paul Giamatti, Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa. It's set in the 1970s, and it's also shot and edited like an era film. Like it was shot in the 70s. I wanted to see this in theaters. I did not. There was a lot coming out. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this is unique. Plus, I've always been a huge fan of Paul Giamatti. But so this was my first time watching it. I rented it on Apple TV. And I always expected it to be just like a dry retro style period piece. Kind of a comedy. I figured there'd be some drama, but I figured it'd be mostly like a comedy. So first impressions, so basically my thoughts on this are first impressions are often incorrect because once you spend time with someone, you start to see something deeper. So the retro look is not just a filler. It also, like, the grain and slower editing, it makes the movie kind of feel lived in, more realistic, as weird as it sounds. It doesn't rush the audience. It kind of lets you sit with the characters. Like, literally, you're alone with them in the school for most of the film. And it doesn't try to rush the story. You actually sit with them. Basically, so the characters, there's Paul. He's a teacher, and he's very much hated by the students and the teachers and everyone. He's very strict and kind of a jerk. And when I started watching this, oh, by the way, this will contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, if you don't want to have it spoiled, don't watch further, listen further. So I figured I knew where this was going. I figured, by the end, he's going to learn how to be nicer. Angus, he's an angry kid. He's going to learn to be nicer. They're going to, everyone's going to be better people at the end. All of that. So there's also, like I said, Angus, he's an angry kid. There's Mary, she's the cafeteria worker. It's established early on. She just lost her son in Vietnam. And so it's obvious she's sad. She always has kind of like this sad look on her face. When the film started, I thought she's kind of calm for someone who just lost her kid. And I just, I didn't think much of it. I'm thinking, okay, they don't want to have her, and this is a comedy, they don't want to have her crying the whole time. They added that to give her character. I don't know. And then about halfway through, you realize there's a party scene, and she starts playing the music that her son listened to. And she has like a full emotional breakdown. And you realize that she really hadn't been functioning. She had basically just been surviving. And yeah, that's a little more realistic than the I'm fine with it attitude that it kind of was given at the beginning. And Yeah, I when that was the first like real like emotional moment of the movie is when she's in the kitchen and she like has her breakdown, and you really start to get a sense of what the movie was doing. It's like, oh, okay, I see. She was holding it in and repressing her emotions, and she didn't want to get too emotional, but then she let it out. Mary doesn't have like a single big speech moment. Her arc is told through small choices and quiet moments. Uh, it's a soul performance, not a showy performance, and that's actually a little harder to do. Like, she's not playing sad in this movie. She's playing someone who's trying to keep functioning because functioning is easier than feeling. So, like, with Paul, he's then a Paul Giamatti character. Giamatti? Ugh. Anyway, Paul, he doesn't get nicer. He gets human, if that makes sense. He has a little more understanding. There's moments that happen. You learn his backstory and you find out why he is the way he is to an extent. And he doesn't really change at the end. I mean, he does in a way. Because he says many times the school is his home. It's his favorite place on earth. And he couldn't imagine being anywhere else. And at the end of the movie, he sacrifices his job to protect Angus. And he's fired. And the movie ends with him driving off. So, like, I mean, he does change, but he's not, like, a nice person and everyone likes him now. He plays a know-it-all really well. Like, when they're at the bowling alley and he tells the two guys the history of Santa suit, he really sounds like someone who would probably talk about this and know what he's talking about. Every time he randomly says a fact about the ancient world, it doesn't sound like he memorized it off a script. It sounds like he's really pulling it from his memory. On first impression, he actually looks like an arrogant know-it-all. But as the movie goes on, you realize this is someone who built his entire personality around knowledge because that's the only place he's ever felt safe. He retreats into facts because feelings are dangerous. He basically barricades himself behind intellect. And as for Angus, you just think, oh, he's a spoiled rich kid. He's arrogant and because he's been given the world. But as the movie goes on, you learn, actually, no, he's basically been abandoned by his family. And repeatedly, it shows him talking to his mom on the phone and he's like, hey, can I come home for Christmas? And she's like, oh, actually, I'm going to spend time with my new husband or whatever. And then, like, she keeps making excuses and he ends up having to stay at the school. And, yeah, like, she clearly doesn't want him around. And you find out why later in the movie. But, like, I want to talk about Dominic Sessa. So I couldn't find anywhere where his name was being said. He's still kind of a new actor. This was his first movie. His second movie was Tow, T-O-W, and then he has 3 movies in post-production, which is funny. He has more movies and more move. I'm looking on Wikipedia. You know how it says the yellow denotes film or TV productions that have not been released. He has 3 films that are yellow and 2 that are white. So he has more that are in post-production than are released. So those are Now You See Me, Now You Don't. He's in the trailer of that. I think he's the one. He's talking to Woody Allen. Not Woody Allen. Woody Harrelson. Very different person. When Woody Harrelson goes, it was worth a shot. And then he goes, was it? That's him. I think. I haven't seen the trailer in a while. That's as soon as I saw his name in there, I'm like, oh, that's him. And then there's one called Oh What Fun, which is funny because that's another Christmas movie. And then he's gonna play Anthony Bourdain. I feel like a horrible person because I know like he's very much loved. He also passed away. They're making a biopic about him called Tony, and Dominic is playing him. Anthony Bourdain. But yeah, this isn't your typical Christmas movie. I didn't even realize it was supposed to be a Christmas movie until I was looking up movies to cover. And this was on the list of Christmas movies. And I'm like, that's a Christmas movie? I looked into it and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll cover that one. Because like I said, I heard of it. I remember seeing the trailers in theaters and I wanted to see it, but there was other movies coming out and that they were pulling my attention away. And so I watched those instead. And now I wish I'd watched this in theaters. I like it is a Christmas movie, but and I was going to say Christmas isn't really that important to it, but it's literally during Christmas break. They get to Christmas Day and it's not like your typical Christmas movie where they run down the stairs and they open presents and it's holly jolly. They do have like a Christmas morning thing, but it doesn't feel like a Christmas movie. Like I think you could play this in the middle of the year and it wouldn't feel out of place. But I think I would stick to playing it around this time of year just because of all the snow. This movie is a lot of snow. It feels weird. I don't like watching movies with snow in the summertime because I'm like, now I want snow. Oh, I'm in San Francisco, so I don't get snow either way. But yeah. And cut.
The Rambler Network.